Okay, so here we go. We are looking at, we've talked about moving cars.
Now we're going to talk about moving bodies. As in, no, not, I mean, moving your body. Not moving bodies, moving your body. Sometimes the struggle is real. You make up your mind that you want to get into an exercise regime. Okay.
New Year resolution.
I want to keep fit.
I want to lose weight.
I want to lose weight.
I want to lose this belly fat.
So I must do exercise. Okay, I will start tomorrow. Tomorrow comes. I better left matter.
I was a little tired yesterday.
I will start tomorrow. And on, and that is how
until
the good intentions.
Until the 364th day. From next year.
I will make the resolution again day after tomorrow. And I'm sure this scenario is familiar to a lot of people because it has happened to them before. So you do have the intention. Don't forget that the road to heaven is paved with good intentions. The intention is there, but you haven't quite got to it yet. So we decided to ask the experts, how exactly do you decide to get into an exercise regime and actually get into it?
And make it a habit.
Joel Zamere is with us. Good morning. Remember him? Yes, that guy who told us that it's not about just counting your steps. Look at him. He's here again. Me, I'm counting my steps. He says, no, cardio has to be there. You have to sweat. Your heart has to know that you're doing the exercise.
Yes.
Well, he's here.
Yes, you got it.
Yeah, right.
Great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, man.
And welcome.
Since there is a lot of beef this morning.
Beef. Fool. I count my steps, but I don't sweat. Then I remember his face comes into my mind, and I say, if I catch that boy. I do 10,000 walking around, cooking, and all that, doing housework.
Wow, please.
And I remember him.
Come on. To 300 calories.
Oh, that's 300 calories.
Yeah.
10,000.
Yes.
Then I eat a bar of chocolate.
That's like
900 calories.
but there are other benefits. Bone density, moving your muscles. That sounds good. It has its benefit, but not weight loss.
And that's a feel good. That's feel good for you.
Yeah.
Right on, baby.
Even if all you scored was 50%, is good.
It's pass.
Joel.
Yeah.
The scenario she painted at the beginning is people who want to do it. They know there is a need to do it. But the challenge is time. I leave home in the morning. I'm coming back home at, I left home at about 5:36.
Sometimes it's not just time. It is just the getting to do it.
At least let's even start with time. The excuses. And the very genuine reasons given.
Yeah,
I live at Iyanopaja. I work at Aja.
I have to leave home at
4:30 in the morning, get to the office around 8, 9, leave the office around 5, get home at about 10 p.m. Where I go take exercise?
Fantastic question. So the way I'll answer this is to first say, Channel is a global TV organization. So it's Lagosians that have this problem, this particular problem.
You're right.
And as someone has said to me, we all live in different environments. And so
Lagosians and New Yorkers.
Well, true. And the reason I'm saying that is because you have some people living in areas where they don't go through this kind of traffic.
Yeah.
Correct.
And what they do is they just live their lives. And you look at people, for instance, in the north, who have to walk maybe long distance to get water. You look at people who have to walk long distance to go to the market. And so they have some activity that they are doing that is helping them with their lifestyle. Whether they know it or not, they are constantly moving. They are constantly lifting things. They are constantly doing that. That's all they do. And you have it in different aspects. You go to the east, for instance, you find people that they easily farm. You know, so you see them, they are enjoying themselves in the farm, bending to pick the cassavas and moving, and so they are active. What we need to do, we who have this 5 to 9 is what they call it. We who have that kind of hour is that we need to then modify our workouts. And that is why exercise has different modes. I know this word is popular, high intensity interval training. It's called HIIT. Now, that is popular, but what should be popular is high intensity training or high intensity exercise. So in exercise, we have 3 ways you can exercise. You can do what we call low intensity exercise. But when you do that exercise, you must do it for a long duration. Okay.
Sorry. Before you go into that, my apologies.
Yes.
Before you go into all of that, she said something.
Yes.
And I think we should give it credence.
Okay.
She said, it's not just the desire to do it, not just the intention to do it, but to actually get off your butt and do it.
Yes.
That's the challenge many people have.
Yes.
There are those who think the only way I can do this is if I enroll in a gym. Now, that intent is a good intention. Paved in, what did you call it? Good intentions paved
the road to heaven.
You know, they're just intentions and that is it.
Yeah.
But to make out the time and to actually get up and do it,
Yes.
that's the challenge.
Yes. And you're very correct. And that is why some of the advocacy we are doing now, we are asking Nigerians to move. People need to move. They need to...
We move.
Yes.
We move.
They need to move. And that is why it is important that the minute you can move, the minute you can ensure that you are moving, then you are fine. And I think most of the time, people think they have to do so much in order to achieve their goals. They are looking at the other person and they're saying, I need to do this much for me to actually achieve my goal.
Okay, so when you say move,
yes,
what kind of moving or movement are you referring to?
Yes, so, and that's where it gets tricky. There are different kinds of movements. And so for you to know what movement and how you ought to move, you need to be assessed by a professional. You need someone to assess you and say, okay, this is how you should move.
But this is the kind of exercise
This is the kind of exercise you should do.
Okay.
You worked in a bank, you don't have time. This is the kind of exercise you should do based on your assessment, based on your physical structure, based on your lifestyle, based on your health history, based on whatever conditions that you have. This is how you need to move. Now, what happens most times is that we are looking at somebody to move. And in between, we are frustrated because that is not
who we are.
And so we get frustrated and then we lose interest.
Okay. Take the example of somebody who has been an athlete all their life.
Fantastic.
They've always exercised.
Yes.
But they think that because they're getting old now, they're aging, that they don't move like they used to.
Yes.
What kind of moving should they be doing?
Thank you for that question. Now, first of all, we keep advocating to the gyms. I'm going to get to you that they must have programs like this where they have modified exercises for people that are older. Okay? Now, having said that, still, even though you've given me a demography of people, there are still peculiarities to who you are that will determine what workout you should do.
Okay.
But let me just speak off the call.
No, she doesn't want to work out. She only wants to just do exercise to keep fit. That's all.
Yes, so it's semantics. Workout.
No, she doesn't want to go to the gym. No,
it's fine. So see, this is not even as we are organizing a free workout for people that we're calling We Move. The idea behind that is so that people can know that they can move, whether in the gym or outside the gym. Getting fit, you necessarily don't need to be inside the gym, but you need a fitness expert to tell you how to move. Because what will happen is that you will lose interest. Let me give you a classical example of what I'm saying. Now, let's assume we want to achieve a 1,000 calories. We want to burn 1,000 calories.
Ah, that's a lot.
Yeah, let me just an example. Just as an example. Okay, let's do 500 calories. Okay. Is that fine? So let's say you want to do 500 calories. And you can achieve it in 3 ways. The first way you can achieve it is what I was explaining. Long duration.
Okay.
So you never walk and just walk as though, you're not going somewhere.
I'm strolling.
Yes. So anytime you walk purposefully.
Purposeful walk.
Yes, walk purposefully. Back straight, shoulders up, and walk. And when you do that, for instance, we are religious people. Some of us take prayer walks. Some of us just take some time to walk around. Even in your environment here, if you stand up from time to time, if this program was more than 1 hour, in between the program, I would have insisted that we got up. Okay? So if you do that and you do long duration but low intensity, you can achieve over 500 calories based on your metabolic rate. So if both of you do the same exercise, if 3 of us do the same exercise, 3 of us, if we do the same exercise,
the outcomes will be different.
Exactly. We won't lose the same calories, okay, because we all have different
at the same rate.
Metabolism. But having said that, that is one way you can achieve it. But guess what? You need time.
Which you don't have.
Which we don't have. Okay. It's those in maybe living
even in the rural areas, they don't have time anymore, so don't even go there.
Okay, so you need time. Now the next one is mid-intensity. You see that anytime the time changes, the intensity is changing. And that is very important for your body. Because if you don't work out this way, the next day you won't have any motivation to get up. Because you will have done too much. And there's actually something called overtraining.
Oh, really?
Yes. Too much is not enough or good. Neither is too low enough or good. I'll use another example later on. But that is why the mid-intensity, mid-duration is important. That's about 30 to 40 minutes of you now. Now, if we're talking about walking, what will you be doing now? There'll be some light jogging. You see that we have changed the same environment, the same people, but we have changed the workout because we have reduced the time.
But someone proposed to me, Joel.
Yeah.
And that is, it says a 15-minute exercise that will give you the value of 1 hour training.
Yeah, I was going to get there. So that's the third one, which is what I was highlighting. That's the high intensity training. So we say high intensity interval training. The reason why we say interval is because in between each exercise is rest period. Okay. So when you hear heat exercise or heat workouts, it just means high intensity interval training. So meaning that because it is high intensity, there ought to be rest periods in between each workout because of how the energy system of the body works.
So that's like how many minutes?
So it depends. So I'll recommend that you do 20 minutes and not 15 minutes. Now, guess what? If you have 15 minutes, that's fine. And then, we think that if we do exercises only in the morning, that's when it works. We think that, if I put all my exercises need to be together. Actually, you can pace out your exercises in a day.
Oh, really?
Yes, you can. You can do 10 minutes in the morning of a particular part, maybe your upper body. When you get to work, you do lower body. When you get, and that will be endurance. When you get
after
home,
work,
you can say, I'm going to work around my estate.
You want to give us some demonstration of things that people can get up and do now?
The reason why I even want to do this is especially because of those in the office. So what I want to do is just show basic, we call them compound exercises. There are some exercises that work particular muscles, but what you want to do, especially for those who don't have time, is to ensure that they are doing compound exercises. That way, you're working multiple muscles at the same time to achieve the required results.
So it's something that they can do in their 1 hour breaks at the office.
Fantastic, exactly. That's really it. So when people say they don't have time, I say, do you have lunch? Yeah.
Lunch is for me to eat, man.
I know, but
okay, I want to quickly show us because I think we're running out of time.
Okay, let me show you that. So now one of the things I'm going to explain, which is very important, is form. Now most people, when they do this exercise, they tend.
I think you need. You need space.
I can still be here.
Yeah. No, he can be there. He can be there.
Okay,
because the camera
I'm going to also use this. So one thing they usually will do, which is the first thing I want to explain, that they tend to tuck in their abs. And you see people, most of the time when we're training people, we have to tell them, breathe, breathe. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because it impairs development in your training. So just say, ha, 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 ha. You feel that your stomach did not go in. It came out a bit, but it was stiff.
Yeah.
That is the feeling you want to have when you're doing any of these exercises. Don't hold in your stomach. Be in that position where you are holding in your core. Because this is a corset, it's a natural corset. It helps your body to ensure that all the exercises you are doing are in form.
Okay.
Now, having said that, a couple of exercises that you can do in the office is ensure that you have like a study chair. Okay. So I'll advise that don't use the chairs that roll around. Use the one that maybe you give to those who come and visit you, because when you do that, it's a safety hazard. Okay. If it moves forward, then you will trip.
Yeah.
So you can start by an inclined push-up, for instance. Okay. Why is inclined push-up good? It is not difficult to do. Okay, but what you want to watch is ensure that your hands are underneath your shoulders. Okay. Because the prime mover for this exercise, for instance, now this is a bit elevated. Okay. If you can come to a level like this, that would be good. But for demonstration purposes, I'll just use it. Okay, your hands should be underneath your shoulders, and then just press down and up. Your shoes are the same shoes.
Can a 70-year-old do that?
Big time. Please.
Don't look at me.
Big time. Do you know why? This is your body weight. And guess what? I have not said do 100.
Oh, how many?
Well, I'm coming to that.
5.
So there are 2 ways to do this. Now, let me say this. In every workout, there are 2 ways you can do it. You can do it by numbers, which is the repetition, how many times you are doing, or you can do it with time.
Okay.
I always will advocate for time. The reason is, if you say you're going to do this in 30 seconds, the number of exercises you can do in that 30 seconds is fine. So for instance, if you start and it's 30 seconds and you go 1, 2, and you're tired, if it's not 30 seconds yet, you can actually rest and go back to the workout and continue. Now, when you do that daily, you will actually end up developing yourself, because you will see that today I did 15, and then the next day you are
20.
doing 17, and then you are growing. Now, there are many exercises like this, but this is just an example. You can do this also, what we call dips. This is still the chair, and you're just going down and up, down and up. And what have I done? The 2 examples I just showed you now are compound exercises. You have worked your chest, your shoulders, and your back. Oh, rhomboids, deltoids, pectoralis. You have that's what we worked the first time. And then in doing it this way, I've targeted the last muscle that maybe I didn't target, which was the tricep. Okay, so that's fixing all the upper body. Oh, really? Now, if you do this constantly which is why we still need to do an endurance assessment to know how many you can do and where you are. But having said so, if you do this regularly, you will keep your muscles active. Okay, you will keep your joints healthy, which is what you really want to achieve daily. The fitness is not weight loss. Fitness is health, is lifestyle, is being fit enough to do your job. That's really what fitness is.
How about the legs?
Yeah, fantastic. So we can do the same thing. Same chair, same space in your office. You see, we've not gone anywhere. You put the same length there. You can do modified mountain climbers, because mountain climbers usually will be on the floor, but you can easily raise your feet up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, of course, this is very compound, isn't it? Your core is engaged. Your bum or glutes are engaged. Your legs is active.
And the joints.
The joints are busy. They've been busy since we started. Okay? So you technically don't work your joints. Your joints enable mobility. They help you to do the workout. That is why before you do any workout, like I've showed you this too now, but before you do it, you want to just warm up first. Because it is when you warm up that you prepare your muscles, your heart, and your joints for any kind of exercise.
Show us this warm-up thing.
So warm-up is simple. So some warm-up can be, you get up, you know you're going to do that workout, but you take a walk downstairs, or to maybe a 5 minutes walk to and fro. And when you're doing that, you are moving this. Now, anytime you're walking, you will move your knee joints, but you might not move your elbow joint. So you just want to do this. Or you can be in that same position and just walk in one position. So you want to do this for about 5 minutes, because it's not high intensity. If it was a bit high or mid intensity, maybe 2 to 3 minutes would be fine, which is what you see some people do, where they say maybe jog on the spot. But you don't want to take your heart rate so high so quickly.
Because you're at work.
Yes, because you're at work. So just move to in one position and stay there. Now, if you do that, after which you've done that, naturally the body secretes what we call synovial fluids to all the joints in your body, which enables movement. Okay? So when you're done with that, you just do what we call preparatory stretches, and they are dynamic in nature. Don't stay in one position when you want to start a workout. You do dynamic stretches, okay? When you're done with that, you then move to the workout.
Okay.
When you're done with the workout, you then stretch and stay in one position. That we call static stretches. And then you're good. Now, see what we've done. We've worked out for 15 minutes in our office, and we can do this every day. Accumulatively, you might do better than someone that struggles goes to the gym twice a week.
Okay, we're running out of time now. In fact, we have run out of time. We have to thank you. But would you recommend for any organization to have spaces like that in the organization?
Most definitely. There are a couple of organizations that are working with the Institute, especially as we advocate the We Move campaign. A couple of things that people are doing now is that in the work environment, first of all, they are using tables that are adjustable, that can go up and come down. Number two, they are having areas where we call team bonding areas in the office. Okay. They are like steps you can climb up and do a couple of activities. Okay. And then some who are very serious actually have gyms and qualified fitness trainers in those gyms that do workout plans for them and stuff like that. But it is important that this is what we are all catching on, and we are serious about our fitness. The minute you're serious about it, you will find someone to help you do it, and you'll be able to achieve your goal.
You know, somebody will be wondering, why you're not sweating? He is in an air-conditioned environment.
Like he is in the gym. Joel Uzamere, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for
telling us what to do to keep ourselves fit and healthy.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sunrise will be right back with the home stretch in just a moment. Having stayed this long, you might as well just stay on till the end.